Welcome back to Buying Sandlot. Today, we're joined by Paul Anton, CEO and co founder of Hoop, the company behind the world's first smart basketball hoop. Hoop uses an integrated screen, computer vision, and AI powered training that transforms a driveway or gym into an interactive player development experience. We dive into the origins of Hoop, their core products, why consumer expectations around sports training are changing, and the future of connected sports equipment. But before we get into that, we want to thank Blackmagic Design Cameras for sponsoring the show. Listen, filming youth sports has come a long way. Organizations can now create new revenue streams from live broadcasts using the same products as professional teams. A hockey club in Michigan can use the same camera that the NHL uses behind the goal, and a baseball facility in California can afford the same cameras Disney used to shoot the latest Marvel movie. That's all thanks to Blackmagic Design, who makes it possible. Whether you are a sports facility, club, school, or coach, Blackmagic Design allows high quality, affordable, and easy to learn multi-camera streaming and filming. Check out their studio cameras, production switchers, DaVinci Resolve, editing and replay tools, and the Blackmagic Camera app on iPhone and Android. For more information, please go to blackmagicdesign.com. And now, let's get into the interview. I'm here with Paul Anton, CEO of Hoop. Paul, thank you for joining the show. We appreciate it. Can you tell the audience more about Hoop?
Thanks so much for having me, Kyle. Really appreciate it. Hoop is the world's first smart basketball hoop that lets you train like a pro, track your performance, and play against other hoop users around the world.
I love that. And when I looked at it, I think I saw either you guys mentioned on your website or I saw it online, but essentially what you're kind of building is the Peloton for basketball in a way. I mean, you have a hardware, software component. There's coaching, there's data, there's content, training, entertainment. It feels like, you just buy the hoop and you get all that with it, kind of like, Peloton, especially during, COVID and everything when everyone was getting Peloton bikes.
Yeah, it's a good comparison. I mean, we're very similar to Guitar Hero as well. We're our own game console with the product behind me. We have a screen inside of a backboard that displays content in real time. We track all your shots. We have a little bit more AI capabilities in Peloton. We've specifically built the hardware to track everything on the court. We've collected millions of shots of data at this point to make our algorithms really on point to make sure we're tracking all your performance data, whether it's on a mini hoop or a full-sized hoop or our new product, the Hoop Arena.
Now, tell me more about the product. Tell me more about, is this sold more? Is this more B2B, B2C? What are the kind of the core customers, the target customers you say?
So we have three core products. We've started with the Hoop Pro, which is a full-size smart basketball hoop with a big display inside the actual unit. And that was using a camera to track everything you did on the court. And we were building those for $8,000, selling them for $10,000, and $18,000 for the outdoor model. Really expensive to build. We still have, units in the field and out there, but not as scalable as we thought. It was very, very hard to get to market. So we made the Hoop Mini along the way, and we launched it at the end of 2024. The product you see behind me, which is a mini version of the Hoop Pro that tracks all your distance using radar and lidar. We wanted to be privacy first. We didn't want to put a camera in kids' bedrooms, so we actually built this with radar and lidar, which was a lot harder to do, but we did it for the parents and the kids out there. And it still tracks your distance: 1-pointers, 2-pointers, 3-pointers, 10 feet and beyond, and it lets you play with people around the world. So there's a display in that product as well. And both those products really are the same. One's big and one's small, and they let you play with people around the world. You can stream your favorite game shows, highlights in real time to the TV, to the backboard while you play, and track your stats at the same time, and lets you play with different people around the world through a multitude of different games. So from tracking all your stats on the court, 1-pointers, 2-pointers, 3-pointers with the Hoop Mini, or full NBA level shot charts on the Hoop Pro, you're able to create all these different games. So we have game developers making us games all over the world. We have our own in-house game development team that makes our own games. And then the Hoop Arena, which just launched, which is just a camera and LED lights around a backboard that turns any hoop into a smart hoop. So that product is coming really soon. It's going to be a game changer for the game of basketball. Right now, we launched a 60-inch and 72-inch backboard for those people that don't have basketball hoops and want a high-quality in-ground hoop. We have a 60-inch and 72-inch with everything made on the backboard itself. And then we have the attachment kit coming next.
Do you need the physical hoop, or can you go into a facility, say a facility wants like eight hoops, can you just go in and rewire the technology to on their existing hoops as long as they're compliant?
Exactly. That's what's coming.
Interesting. Okay. All right. And then can you connect that? I mean, I know the Big 12 tournament, the smart court. I think it was great. I think it was a little bit ahead of its time. Obviously they scrapped it mid tournament and everything, but does the future look kind of like an opportunity to pair hoop with like a smart court? Is there anything down the line you're looking forward to? Because I think with the mini, with the pro, is so interesting because it's like, yeah, you could track your stats and everything, but you also play YouTube videos. You can play Netflix, you can play all this stuff and everything on the backboard. I really liked how you guys incorporated the smart TV. So, what do you kind of think, back to my original question about connecting more with the hoop, smart courts, anything else you want to talk on?
So our products, are everything all in one. If you were to take the hoop arena and put it on your existing hoop, you've got a full NBA level training facility in one small little product. We track your shot charts, your rim charts, where we let you know like the stats the pros track, whether you're swishing, whether you're hitting back rim, front rim. We're giving you all that data, shot angle trajectory. So we're giving you all this data that's taken us 7 years to make really, really good. And from there, the games, the challenges, the data we're collecting, the way you're able to view where you stack up against other players in your similar age group, whether you stack up against how you stack up against the pros. I think we're able to do a lot more than a lot of other companies out there, a lot of other products with a very simple piece of technology, and it's going to connect every basketball hoop in the world. There are over 100 million hoops in the world today, and every single one of them is owned by a potential customer for us. And it's also a way to connect every single hoop in the world where you're able to track people's stats and have them compete against each other.
So I do want to get into the gamification because I really like what you guys are doing there. But sticking on the facilities right now, with that facilities piece in the arena coming down the line, is this going from, you think, a B2C model to shifting to a B2B, or do you think they can coexist and kind of, where do you kind of see the majority of the revenue down the line? Is it more facilities, or is it more going to little Timmy's driveway?
It's a really good question. We've actually built the hoop arena for the teams and the schools. That's like where we built it. But through the development, we did create a consumer app for this because it was just too juicy, too amazing of a technology to limit only to those schools and gyms. And that's pretty much how this has gone. Is the original concept was for schools and gyms, but we've through just development and us playing on it, we're like, "Hey, we need this, and I want this in my own driveway. I want this at my house." And from there, we've created two separate apps. So we have an app for schools and teams where if you're a coach, you can click, boom, really quickly select which player is playing on the court or the entire team. And if you're at your house, it's sort of Netflix style where you get your family's accounts. We don't limit it to four. I think we get much more. We're going to have many more accounts available for the families that have this in their driveway. But we have both. We did build it originally for schools and teams, so great question. Like that's where all the shot tracking and data was centered around, but we do have both and we do think they can coexist.
Where do you see the let's stay on the consumers. Where do you see those customers? Do you see them more being, your basketball facilities in affluent neighborhoods? Do you see them being more the IMG academies, the Spires? Do you see, those customers being in LA Fitness, or like a CYO league or not? What have you guys kind of hammered down on, like where you're going to target customers when the arena is available?
Truthfully, when we think about this product, I think about myself when I was in middle school. I was insane, live, breathe, eat the sport, would play it 8 hours a day. And I'd play in my driveway, then I'd play at the school. And we've really wanted to make this the Hoop Arena for all those locations, for all those places. And it's going to be a game changer because it works for both the driveway hoops and the schools and gyms.
How do you plan on democratizing the tech? How do you plan on making it more accessible to maybe those, obviously there's ways to do it, but I'm interested in your strategy, or maybe like, those community centers in inner city neighborhoods, or maybe someone who can't afford a $3,000 hoop. How do you guys talked about that internally?
Yeah, so the entire lifespan of the company, we've had razor thin margins on the hardware, and we're going to continue to drive those costs down as we learn more about manufacturing and get our volume up. And our volume's a big way to lower those costs. But we do not make a dollar on hardware at the end of the day. We lose money on hardware, razor thin margins, and then when you factor in marketing, we're losing. When you factor in some retail partnerships, we're losing. But it's for the greater good, and eventually, when we connect enough basketball hoops out there, we believe it's going to pay off. The real reason we're doing this is to get people back out on the court. And We just keep iterating. Every single year, we're iterating on new products. Every single month, we're iterating on new games, and every single week, we're dropping new challenges. So we're really moving quickly as a company right now and creating what we think is a way to get people playing more basketball.
Going back to the hardware, because you guys have such a proprietary data or proprietary technology product, I think you brand yourself as the first smart hoop in the world has ever seen, which is awesome. Is that why you continue with the hardwares? Because I mean you could do software obviously, and it would probably be way more cost effective on your end. But from your thoughts, like is the hardware what separates you guys from other competition or other competitors, down the line? Is that why you continue it?
I, that's a big reason why. The main reason why though is we're super all bought into making this the best experience possible. We don't like having to set up your phone every time you want to go out on the court. It's not a natural human behavior. We built the Hoop Arena and the Hoop Pro and the Hoop Mini. Walk right up to it and start shooting. Use any ball. We don't want to make it, compatible with just our ball or have chips in a ball, so we can use any ball. That's why AI is so great. It's helped us make algorithms that work with any ball, and we've had to go collect that data. We use um, green balls, red balls, did multicolored balls, and we go collect that data. People 7 feet tall to 4 feet tall, or 3 feet tall, actually, kids, um, all different skin colors, genders, races. It's been really fun to work with all these people and collect this data to make sure our algorithms work for everyone. But the way the Hoop Arena works is you can walk up, shoot with any ball. You don't need to set up your phone at all, and you can go log into your mobile app after you're done and get all the data that you just shot on the court. You could even do that for 3 months. You don't have to look at your phone once. And once you log in the next time on your phone, it'll say, hey, these were all your sessions recorded over the last 3 months. Here's all your data.
Interesting. Ball agnostic. I love that. I love that. You're just adding on another hardware layer that doesn't need to be really added on there. So the fact that I can use a Spalding or a Baden or a small ball 28 and a half or a 29 and a half, I love that. I love that. I think that's a
Exactly.
great.
And we don't change human behavior at all. You walk up, what do you do when you go out to a court right now? Take a ball, start shooting. It's
Yeah.
really as simple as that. And that's exactly how you can use our products. Walk up to our hoop, start shooting. Your data will be tracked for you. You'll have it. It's always going to be tracking. No need to set up your phone. No need to do anything special. Just walk up and start playing.
Talk more about the tech piece. Let's start with the outdoor hoop first. Talk more about the tech piece. Why is it able to definitively know that this person is a 4'5", 8-year-old versus a 7'2", 7'6" Wemby style professional player? How does it know where it's shooting from a three or shooting from a 15-footer from the corner, from the baseline, from anywhere? And what else is going into the tracking? Because a lot of things we see with in terms of AI highlights and everything, you were talking about how like teams can buy this. Well, one of the things that we do see is like a girl's ponytail blocks a number, or maybe your hair in their face or something like that. So it's hard to differentiate between, Ashley versus Brittany, who's shooting at that time and everything. So loaded question, but take it wherever you want and talk about the technology piece more.
Well, yeah, I watched some of your interviews, Kyle. I know that you have a really deep knowledge of this space, and that question proves, that knowledge right there.
Thank you.
And the other thing we'll mention is a lot of I think you were mentioning some products that and come to my head where you're uploading game footage and you're getting that data after the fact. We really want to do things in real time too. So the way we've conquered both those questions, how we know where you're shooting on the court, is really through AI models. And also through technology that works when it's not as light out. Cameras can be really limited at times too. So through the exercise of the Hoop Mini, building it with pure radar and lidar, zero cameras, we actually gained a huge leg up from other companies that are purely camera focused. Because cameras don't work at night. If the room's dark, it's really hard for them to physically see. Where radar can work at all points, and where we've collected all this data on radar chips now, we know exactly where you are on the court through radars, through cameras, through LiDAR. We have a multitude of different sensors that are sort of checks and balances, checking each other. And that's how our technology works really, really well. And we're not looking at numbers. We're not looking at the color of your jerseys. We're looking at mass, movement, ball trajectory. We're looking at it all to figure it out.
What data points are you seeing that matter most for customers for in terms of player development?
We're doing pose estimation. We can see your body on the court. We can see the ball. We track balls very, very well. We track your shot angle. We track where it goes in the rim. And we have algorithms for everything I just mentioned. And everything we just mentioned there are checks and balances with each other.
And do you see like, you know, 3-point percentage obviously is huge. 2-point percentage is obviously huge. Free throw percentage is huge. Obviously, you guys are doing shot tracking and everything. So, like, if someone's elbows out, they're not dotting the I and everything. You guys can go in there and fix that and stuff. Is there any other advanced analytics that you guys are seeing? Maybe a couple bounces off the dribble. Shot there. Maybe a person coming off a pick and roll, or just a screen down or something like that. They're better at the elbow than they are screen. In the corner. How you guys look at that? Is there something that you could track?
Well, we're starting to collect so much data on the court now from so many different players that we're starting to put some really unique insights together between right-handed players and left-handed players. That's pretty crazy. The data is showing that right-handed players are better from the left side of the court, and left-handed players are better from the right side of the court. And I mean, there might be some biology professors and researchers who might want to take a look at this data at some point. But we're starting to gain some really unique insights on the court. But where that ball goes in, we can I want to do some challenges pretty soon where you don't tell us, we'll blindfold ourselves, you don't tell us what level the player is, and just give us the data of an hour session, and we might be able to tell you exactly what age they are based on that arc and where they're going in the rim, and definitely what level, because the pros really are shooting it remarkably in between 43 and 45 degrees. Like Chris Middleton's an outlier in the NBA. He's got a line drive, but the rest of the league is shooting really in between 43 and 45 degrees. And the shooters like Vassell on the Spurs and these guys coming out now, they're swishing a lot of their shots in practice. We've been able to get in the gym with some of these practice facilities and see these guys shoot and start to collect some data on some pros now. And it's pretty remarkable at the purity of their game and their jump shots.
Do you think Hoop, with like the advanced stats, your challenges, we will get into the gamification. It's a great layer that you guys have, but even like the leaderboards, like the advanced stats, the everything that you guys can kind of incorporate, like does this upend private trainer industry? I mean, because I feel like I'd rather, we hear about it all the time in the media and everything, being like, these kids that are in their club sports and everything, it's not only they're going to play at these facilities that are expensive. Now they have these private trainers that are expensive. Now they have these league fees, these registration fees. Do you guys kind of see yourself as, hey, being like, you might not need a private trainer down the line because we can do it all here?
No, I think the opposite. I think private trainers are going to be needed at every point. We're going to be an enhancement. We're going to be the lowest cost shot tracking system on the market when we launch the attachment kit. So it's going to be a great, great tool for these trainers. But nothing is going to be able to provide a valuable insight of a trainer that went to the pros or went to play in college at a high level or played overseas and is now training kids. We're never going to be able to provide those insights. Especially, I mean, we can try and we can continue to build and continue to grow our game, but the mental aspect, just the aspect of having a trainer that you look up to and you respect their game and respect the amount of time they put into their craft. I think we're going to be a tool for those trainers. We want to be a tool. We don't want to replace those trainers. We want to help them and definitely want to help kids use data to get better. But the insights that trainers provide is, I don't think AI, robots, any product are ever going to replace those guys or girls or anyone who's training basketball players.
I think you're being humble. I think you guys got a really good. I think you guys got a really good product, and you also have that content layer. So you are helping trainers through that. I believe from everywhere
Yeah.
from NBA trainers down to youth skills trainers and stuff that you incorporate. Correct?
Yep, that's correct. We've got a lot of different drills and workouts and challenges from high level trainers all over the world.
Talk to me about the gamification. It's one of my favorite things you guys are doing. If you go on your website right now, you can see, your leaderboards and everything, your challenges and everything. Who's making the most? I mean, who's got the best percentage from 3-point? Who's been taking the most shots all time? Who's been taking the most shots daily? I think you're doing stuff. You might be doing like rewards or something like that for people who are taking the most shots daily or using the product more and more. Talk about the gamification layer.
Yeah, so gamification is a big piece of this. It's really why we built the product in the first place, is to be able to play against each other in different parts of the world. Through all the stats comes first, making sure that we're tracking everything really well on the court. And then from there is when the gamification comes. Before you start every game, you do have your avatar with all three products, Hoop Pro, Hoop Mini, Hoop Arena. And your avatar can increase its OVR rating, its shooting rating, its dunk rating, based on the way you play and your real world movements. So at the end of every session, you'll see your avatar in the game, their OVR rating increase or decrease after every session. And then you're able to challenge your friends around the world too. So we've got a number of different games, dozens of different games now on every platform where you can do pea shooter, free throw contest, 3-point contest. You can create your own games now, your own versions of things. We've got basketball, thanks to J Law. We've got some other, yeah, we've got some other games. We're dropping new games all the time, and now we're really going to accelerate because we've got developers developing, third-party developers developing games on the platform too.
So kind of like Roblox.
Exactly, exactly. But for
Wow.
basketball and for real world
For
gaming.
basketball, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. Wow. I like that. I like that. Like Roblox, do you pay the creators for everybody who I mean, I know the Roblox is like 1 cent is like equal to like nothing. But do the creators kind of, or is it all for love of the game for right now?
we do pay the creators
Nice.
per game.
Nice. I love that. What's the core product? What's driving the business right now? Is it the Hoop Mini? Is it the stanchion? What's
The Hoop Mini and the arcade are definitely the front runners. We just launched the Hoop Arena, and the launch has been crazy, really good. But the Hoop Mini and Hoop Arcade, we can definitely say are number one and two right now.
do you envision recruiting profiles ever integrating with the data?
Definitely, definitely. As we get into more schools and teams, we'll be able to show. We don't want to reveal which teams are which, but hopefully we get so many D1, D2 teams on the platform where your team can do a session and you can see where you're stacking up in your league, in your conference, in the entire, division, as a team. How is the team's stats track? Yeah, it's going to be really cool. So and that's going to open up this to recruiters and coaches, for the kids playing in their driveway too. So from team levels and to kid and individual levels as well, we want to open this up.
Back to the gamification for a second because I forgot this question. How do you look at working with brands and partnering with them for shooting competitions? Have you guys seen some brands that want to do that? Have you worked with any brands in the past that you can talk about?
Um, we haven't as much. I'm trying to think of which companies and brands we've worked with. We've worked with a couple of gyms. We've worked with a couple of trainers. We've worked with a couple of different brands, but no one's sponsored a shooting contest yet. But we might have to sponsor our own first to get this going. But we've just been so focused on the shot tracking and the gamification at this point. Maybe that'll start to come as we grow.
I like that. Maybe the NBA or the NCAA should start looking at you guys and stuff. What do you think about expanding new sports? Obviously, you're heavy all basketball right now, but I mean, soccer, great analytics for the game. Baseball, great analytics for the game. What are you guys thinking about expanding in other sports? Anything down the line?
We've been prototyping soccer goals. We've been tracking balls really well for 7+ years now, with actual mass producible hardware. I mean, even more than 7 years prior to that, but with mass producible hardware, it's been about 7 years of tracking. And finally, I think at the end of 2024 is when we first built our first prototype in soccer. So it's been almost a couple. It'll be a couple years by December where we've had 2 years of collecting data of soccer balls and soccer player movements. So that should be coming at some point, but we got to wait
Any
till it's
goal?
perfect.
You got any goal? Like, 2027, 2028? What's Paul's goal?
We don't have a goal yet, but probably 2028, if anything, or if not later. But we got to really perfect it.
I hear you. I hear you. You're doing
Yeah.
great work on the basketball hoops right now. What's the price point of the hoops look like? I believe it's software, hardware. You buy that, and then there's also a subscription model to it as well. But you can use it as a freemium version with a
Right.
little more basic
Right. So, yeah, so
capabilities.
we have no mandatory subscriptions yet, just a premium subscription for the Hoop Mini that gives you access to prizes where we actually give away cash every day and have, training content coming out every week. So the really, expensive software apps that we have fall under a subscription. And then for the Hoop Arena, sort of same model where the premium features where we have to pay for AWS storage or anything that actually costs us money, that's where we got to charge some subscription there, but everything else should be free.
What's the sub pricing looking like?
It's $8, $7.99 a month on the Hoop Mini, or you can buy an annual for a little bit of a discount there, 20% discount. And then for the Hoop Arena, it's $14.99, so $15 a month for the solo family version. Um,
Nice.
Pricing still to be determined on the B2B side.
What's the team number look like? How many people we got in at Hoop?
We're 21
Nice.
people.
All full time, some freelancers, contractors.
Yeah, full time and a mix of that's a mix of full time and part time, right there.
Nice. And then your last raise, I believe, was in 2024. Are there anything down the line? We have a lot of investors in this audience, so I want to make sure you get that out there. What's
Yeah,
transaction?
the last race was 2024. We've been operating sustainably on our own since, so no plans yet, but hopefully, in at some point we're thinking about it. It's starting to come up in conversation. We'll say.
Nice. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. I know I peppered you with a lot of questions and everything, and you really had me learn a lot about the product and everything. Is there anything people should know right now that I didn't touch on? Is where could people find you as well? I know you're active on social media, so feel free to promote that where everybody can get a product. Christmas is right around the corner. I know it's June, but it's right around the corner. It's always for people thinking about Christmas presents and whatnot. Anything you want to tell us?
Yeah, no, thanks, Kyle. This was one of the best interviews. It was great talking to you. You can find us on hoop.com, HUUPE.com, or at Hoop Official on social. And we just launched the Hoop Arena, so definitely go check out the new product, see all the stats it's tracking. If you're a coach, team, trainer, check us out. If you just want to hoop really high quality, probably the best in the world, hoop in your driveway, check us out too at hoop.com.
It's awesome. No, thank you so much, Paul. We really appreciate it. Good luck with everything. We'll definitely be following you along and everything. And if you have any news coming down the pike, when you guys are getting into B2B officially and you've signed your first big partnership, come back on and we'll talk more.
I appreciate it, Kyle. Thank you so much.